Hey, this is Pat, and today we are checking out the all-new Reax Ventra Air riding shoes. Now, the Ventra Airs are based off of my favorite shoe in Reax's line, and that is the Fultons. I've actually been through quite a few pairs of those over the years, and that is a full leather design, almost in an identical look to these Ventras. The Ventras themselves are just done in a vegan styling using mesh and microfiber instead of that full leather chassis. So this is going to offer excellent airflow through, nice comfort for all-day riding, and still rocking that same style that showed success in the Fultons with a flat sole styling. So keep that in mind if you're looking for it. I'd say this is aimed at commuter riders out there, someone that's trying to have a little bit more of a casual look on their ride, or someone that just wants that casual look while still being protected with key elements for motorcycle riding. But before I get too long-winded, let's talk about the overall fit. Now, I do typically wear shoes in a size 10.5 US sizing. I actually go with the size 11 in the Fultons, knowing that they break in and be a little bit looser on that end. I go with the size 11 in these Ventra Airs as well. So just keep in mind, they run about a half size small. And the one thing I would call out is they do have a slightly narrower toe box. I do have a slightly wide toe box. I can make them work as they start to break in, but that's why I had to go up in that range just to get a little bit more comfort in the toe box, but also in the length. So keep that in mind if you're looking at it. Take your normal US sizing, and I'd say go up a half size and you should be all set. They only come in the one colorway. They come in sizes ranging from 8 up to 14, with half sizes in those middle range between 9 and 12. And you do get half size options in there. I'd still say, again, if you are half sizes like myself, go up. And they come in at that $130 price point. But let's walk through the main construction and just check these out. As you can see, really the name of the game here with these Ventras is the amount of mesh that they're using. This is a 3D Flynet mesh all the way throughout, and you get little bits of lamination in those key wear zones. So on the inside of the foot, you're gonna get that, as well as on the outside. Those are areas that tend to wear out when you're gripping the bike and you're riding around. So that's something that they reinforce it with that lamination over top. Down at the toe box, you do have a microfiber, so that's a synthetic leather reinforced toe cap, and it is reinforced with a toe cup in the front, so you're not gonna feel anything, and it's gonna protect the front of your toes should you go down. A little bit of a shifter guard over here. That's a high wear zone when you are riding out there on the shifter, which would be on the left side, but it is symmetrical on these, but you do have that reinforcement just to help that it doesn't wear through. If you've ever shifted in a boot that has mesh on top, you feel it. I like that they're adding that little pop over there, and it is double stitch reinforced all the way throughout. Looking up the laces, you do have mesh all the way up the tongue, which I do dig. I like that they're adding airflow in that key area. That's gonna be hitting a lot of air coming in, but it is flat lock laces with plastic rivets on the side and eyelets with that microfiber reinforcement so it doesn't pull through the mesh or anything like that. That's gonna be reinforced there for you, but I like that they've added that mesh of the tongue. That's where you're gonna feel most of the air, so I like that they haven't hindered it on the sides. Running down the side, one thing I want to call out is you do get axial reinforcement cups at the ankles. That's on the malleolus protection, both on the lateral and the medial side. So you do get that added protection. If you go down, that's going to protect the side and protect your ankle there. Looking at the rear of the boot, you do have a pop of reflective above the heel and then a reinforced TPU heel counter running at the back, covered in that synthetic leather, that synthetic suede from the front. And I like that they've even added the little Reax logo in the back. Not too much branding when it comes to the overall boots, but I like that they've kind of just dug that in and embossed it into the back of there. Like I said, pop of reflective, nice little pull tab for easy on and off. But again, that reinforced heel is going to be what really makes the main protection in the back feel nice and sturdy. Looking at the sole, I mentioned it before, it is a flat sole. It's a flat thermo rubberized sole. You do have that nice grip pattern on there, even though it is a flat sole. Keep that in mind. This isn't going to be the most grip out there, but if you're looking something with a flat, it does have grooves put into it. I've used the Fultons out there. If you hit gravel, if you hit anything when you're putting your foot down, it does slide a little bit, but for most of the day, it's nice and comfortable and walking around. About a 5 out of 10 on the stiffness scale. Usually I'd say that's where it's going to break in over time, which will with these. I don't think it's going to break in too much, but I prefer a 5 out of 10, say instead of like a 4 out of 10 that I've seen from other boots out there. Just helps while riding, which is the key part of these boots. Keeps them nice and reinforced while you're up there on the pegs. It does have a composite shank running up and down the entire length of the sole, so it is going to be nice and reinforced, and that is to protect with any transverse rigidity in the crush. Say if you tip the bike over or anything like that, that's going to land on top of your foot, and it's going to be nice and protected and not crushed down. Coming up to the top, one last thing I want to call out is the interior. You do have a 3D mesh from the outside, runs to the inside, so it's going to help flow that air, but you also have a shock-absorbing insole to help really reinforce it. If you do have an impact, or if you're just jumping on the bike or running around or anything like that, you're going to have a little bit of impact protection in there. So I do dig that they've thought that through, and it is a replaceable insole should you need to do so. But that's all. Honestly, for what these are, based on the Fultons, which I think are Reac's best boots in their line, I like that they're giving a vegan option. I like that they're giving a more airflow option for those summer riding months. And I think they've reinforced it in the right areas, both the toe, the heel, as well as the ankles, with good amounts of impact protection. But if you have any other questions on the Ventras, or if you want to check out the Fultons, go ahead and click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the all-new Ventra Airs. If you still have questions after that, or if you want to just nail down the sizing before you order them, give our customer service team a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all-new Reax Ventra Air riding shoes. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.